All right. So lunging is a very hard motion. It's something that works the quads, the glutes, the hamstrings. It's really hard to do well. You can lunge forward, or you can lunge backwards. A lot of people, for whatever reason, because they have excessive knee pain or hip pain or joint problems or just strength issues, find that they can't do a full lunge. And by a full lunge, I mean a lunge where you can descend where your knee is just off the ground. So that would look like this. If I'm doing a reverse lunge, okay, come back, down, and I'm coming to just above the ground and then stepping back up. How can you practice a lunge, assuming that your knees are okay and your hips are okay and your lower back's okay and it's not going to hurt you to do it, if you don't actually have the strength to do it? Well, there's a way, and it's with a TRX suspension trainer, okay? I just need to move a piece of equipment here to make sure I don't run into it. Move this, and then we are good to go. Okay. So a TRX suspension trainer allows you, when you're doing lower body movements like this, to distribute some of the resistance to your upper body. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to be holding on with my arms, and my arms are going to be holding some of my weight so that my lower body doesn't take all of my weight. What I'm going to do first is show you how to do a lunge, a regular lunge, a reverse lunge, because that's the kind we do with a TRX. And then I'm going to show you how to do it with a TRX. I'm going to do the lunge facing this way so you get to see it from the side, and then facing you so that you get to see certain characteristics that you want to look for. Because if you can do a regular lunge for the prescribed number of repetitions that your trainer gives you, you don't need a TRX to assist you. But if you can't, TRX is a great piece of equipment to help you work up to being able to do regular lunges. Okay? Rule number one, when you're doing lower body exercises like squats or lunges or deadlifts, is you stay on those heels. You don't come off the heels. And in the case of a lunge, that's true and not true. The leg that's out front, you have to stay on the heels of. The back leg, you have to come off the heel and go up on your toes so that you can drive your knee down to the ground. Okay? You can't do it otherwise. You can't do the lunge properly. But I want you to remember that as with any exercise, it doesn't matter whether it's upper or lower body or both, you tighten the core so that if someone were trying to punch you, your abs would prevent them from being able to hurt you. Your back is nice and straight by kind of squeezing your shoulder blades together a little bit, separating your chest, and your head is looking straight up and down. Okay? So I'm going to put my hands up like this. I'm going to start here. And like I said, it's a reverse lunge, so I'm going to step back as I breathe in as I step back, and out as I come up. In, out, in, out, in, out. Okay. If I do one side and then another side, that's one rep. One side, other side, that's 2 reps. Okay? So those are reverse lunges. I was maintaining a tight core, keeping my back straight, not leaning forward as I'm doing the lunge. And what I want to show you from the front is that I'm not wiggling from side to side. So again, if you find that you can't do a lunge, even if you can do a lunge, you can go that low, but if you're kind of tipping all over the place while you're doing it, you may want to use the TRX, or even to hold something beside you to stabilize you until you have the lateral stability, the trunk stabilizer strength and endurance in order to be able to keep you straight up and down. So it looks like this, okay? I shouldn't be going from side to side, just... My knees are following the direction of my toes too. See, I'm not wavering side to side, okay? If I am, it's a problem and something needs to be addressed. Sometimes, if I'm wavering from side to side, it's just because I need to warm up. Once I'm warmed up, if I'm still doing it, something needs to be addressed. Like I said, either hold on to something, or the TRX, if it's just a strength issue, is a great option. The TRX suspension trainer has 2 handles and has these little straps at the bottom. For this exercise, I like to hold on to the straps because I like to get both my hands around it, and this way I don't have to grab onto both handles. It's, if I don't have big hands, it's hard to do. So what I'm going to do is show you the exercise and then explain to you what it is I'm doing. Same thing, except I was on an angle. What's the benefit of that? When I'm on an angle, the more I'm angled, the more my upper body is taking my body weight, the less my lower body has to deal with it. And also the less range of motion I have to use. So what I can do is I can do a full lunge, stepping backwards, but it's easier to do. Okay, so if I can't do it, and again, if I have no joint pain or issues or anything like that, I just can't do it because I'm not strong enough, this is a great way to assist me. The more I'm leaning back, the easier the motion is. Okay, so it's easier, easier, easier. This is a really easy lunge here. Okay? You can see, the more I stand up straight, now it's just becoming like a regular lunge, okay? So you can see right in the middle of a set, if I'm doing lunges standing pretty straight up, you know, I do a few, right? And then I get maybe halfway through the set and I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be able to finish this whole set. Great, just increase the angle and keep going. Now it's easier, okay? So you can use the TRX to leverage your body weight. In this case, with this exercise, the more I lean back, the easier it is. The more vertical I am, the harder it is, all right? So, for those of you who just don't have the lower body strength, but you want to build it up, you figure, you know, you can pick an angle that works for you to complete the prescribed number of reps in week 1. Then you decrease that angle a bit. You straighten up a little bit. You straighten up a little bit the week after that. Straighten up a little bit more the week after that until finally now you're standing straight up and down. You're doing a full lunge because remember, you were focusing on your form, okay? You were stepping back, that knee was almost touching the ground, okay? You weren't shallowing out. Your body was straight up and down. You weren't bending forward. Your form wasn't getting worse as you started to stand up straighter and straighter. You were watching that. And I invite you to video yourself to check that, by the way. And then eventually, you're able to do a real lunge. TRX is really cool. And it's also, it comes in a neat little travel bag like this. So you can take it anywhere. You can hook it up to a ceiling, to a wall, to a tree outside, or if you don't want to mount it to anything, just put it over your door. There's a door attachment that doesn't require actual physical mounting to the door that allows you to use it without damaging the door. Okay? So a TRX reverse lunge.